复国，中央人民政府今天胜利了。
但是你们能不能？
刚才要问我啊，我可以回半点去，无可奉告。我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党啊？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到，一定要做好准备。
是。
干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Exposing the CCP program. Good to see you again, and also good to see our friend, Mr. True007, and also Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Z, and hi, Mr. Drews. I'm happy to be on the show again tonight. Thank you.
Hi, Mr.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, Z, Chris, and Flower Global Fighters. Welcome to our program. We're going to talk about the very interesting subject. Take down the CCP with the viruses. Yeah, back to you, Z.
Awesome. We're talking about the CCP virus, but this time it doesn't mean COVID. You know, we're generally talking about the CCP is a virus, and it has a capability to produce virus in their biolab. So we're gonna, recently, last week, there was a breaking news that there is a new type of hantavirus that spread in some kind of a cruise, and maybe spread it out of the world. And people may wonder where it comes from. We still don't know where it really comes from. Is it from a leak, or is it just a side effect from the vaccine? It could be many possibilities, but we have to share Miles' intelligence and his warning a few years ago about the CCP virus, about the CCP's capability. And let's watch a video, and we'll be right back for more discussion.
The CCP has two pillars for its vicious plan, and the COVID vaccine is the most important one. Second, the CCP has not yet released any other viruses. I think if the CCP released something again, it would be much more vicious than COVID-19. Third, many people question why COVID-19 was released. Who was in collusion with the CCP? The CCP's colluders always aim at two things. The first is to drastically reduce the world's population, followed by the realization of so-called globalism. What is globalism? It implies that a single entity controls the entire world. And who is this single entity? It's where the governments of various countries become their so-called county-level units and branches. The CCP and these evil forces will form a global government. In the future, they will control your genes, your thoughts, and everything about your aging, illness, and death. There will be no more natural selection, but only elimination based on the need. If they need to eliminate someone, they will just do it. They will no longer feel threatened if they do this. I think this is terrifying. Many Chinese people and others around the world do not believe this. Out of 7.5 billion people worldwide, there are no more than 1 billion who have received a high-level education and have a clear mind. That is, only 10 out of every 75 people are calm and rational. The remaining 65 of them, including our families, your families, and my families, are people who are like animals, simply satisfied with having food and drink in society. The CCP and the evil forces regard these people as their slaves. In the future, globalization must be not about survival of the fittest, but rather about elimination by necessity. So, what's the purpose of releasing the virus again? The purpose is simple: to push you to take the vaccines. The virus itself is not the goal. The vaccination is the real goal. Keep in mind that the whistleblower movement has made the most significant contribution to humanity. This was when I revealed on February 8th, 2020, that the vaccine was the real goal and the real disaster, and that the virus absolutely did not come from nature, but was the CCP's biological weapon. I believe that if the CCP releases a virus again, it will definitely be a deadly virus, and the purpose will still be about the vaccines.
So again, Miles has the first one warned us about the virus came from the CCP lab, Wuhan lab, and the vaccine is actually aimed for not to cure the disease, but actually make the things worse, to depopulate, all that other kind of stuff. So it's very clear in his video, and maybe that's why everybody, all the dark forces, are really afraid of him and try to slander him and all those attack NFSC. Okay, so now we go to Chris for your thoughts. Chris, Miles warned this a long time ago, and what's your takeaway from his video?
Okay, so Mr. Mouse will not only expose the origin of the CCP virus, but also about its antidote. Recently, the globalists have started hyping up yet another virus, the hantavirus. However, several years ago, Mr. Mouse had already warned that besides the CCP's COVID virus, as long as the CCP is not eliminated, other viruses would continue to emerge. Rodent viruses or snake viruses, namely the hantaviruses. Even the late Dr. Zelenko had also talked about how to prevent hantavirus. In 2020, the CCP and the traitors who sell out America used the CCP virus to destroy President Trump's re-election and also to stop the protest back in Hong Kong. And this time, they are repeating the same old trick, using another type of virus to sabotage the midterm elections. Furthermore, this hantavirus is once again a strategy of exploiting fear to push toxic vaccines, with one of the main goals being to disrupt the midterm elections. But this time, the traitors who sell out America and the CCP will not succeed, because more and more Americans have awakened, and the Americans are increasingly seeing through the scheme of these sell-out traitors and the CCP. But then there's a BNT side effect document titled BNT 162B2 available online. If you search for hantavirus in the document, you will find hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. This is actually one of the side effects of the toxic poisoned vaccines. In other words, the original CCP virus poisoned vaccines already contained the hantavirus side effect inside it. The traders who sell out America and the CCP can release toxins indefinitely, then shift the blame for the vaccine side effect onto new viruses. There are more than 1,200 kinds of side effects. And it can also be found online that a patent for the hantavirus mRNA vaccine dated April 24th, 2025, with the patent number US 2025/01257A0A1. This further proves that the entire thing was scripted in advance. The CCP toxic vaccines back then also had a patent already long before it was released. The plan unfolds exactly like this. CCP work with the WHO, work with the World Economic Forum, and also the United Nations. They manufacture a virus, which is COVID or Henta, run a pandemic simulations, bribe the propaganda media to hype it up, bribe politicians, push through legislations, and smooth the way in the political arena, amplifying fear-based propaganda, use gain-of-function experiment to enhance the virus, and then suddenly announce the outbreak. Work in tandem with the fraudsters inside the pharmaceutical and medical industries. Tell everyone that they will die if they don't accept their solution. The results are restriction of freedom of movement, destruction of democratic elections, poisoning of human health, selling of fake treatment, reduction and control of the population, achieve the goal and take down the target. But we know that this time the situation is different. Thanks to Mr. Mouse Squall's early whistle blowing and the exposure, we have the antidote, artesunate annual, and also the Dr. Zelenko's early prevention protocol. Single-strand RNA viruses such as COVID, variant strains, influenza, Ebola, hantavirus, Marburg virus, etc. all rely on RNA-dependent RNA polymerase for replications. So zinc ionophores such as quercetin and hydroxychloroquine plus zinc plus sufficient vitamin D3 can effectively block this process. It is low cost, oral, and provides broad spectrum protections, equally applicable to biological threats. And also the Dr. Pierre Corey has exposed a massive media anomaly. In just a few days, more than 100,000 articles about hantavirus were published globally. More and more Westerns are awakening. This time, the traders who sell out America, the globalists, and the CCP will not succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, for summarizing this a lot of information regarding the origins, warnings, and even antidote. Thank you so much. And now we go to Mr. True. What's your thought and about the CCP virus and viruses actually?
Well, whether it's the COVID-19 viruses or the hantavirus just happened on the ship a week ago, and I think 3 out of 10 people, out of 9 people are actually dead. And it's funny that it's a couple who dead. 2 of them were, I think, a European couple old, but they were like scientists of that kind. They were actually suspected of studied a garbage dump, and went there. Maybe it was like carried out by the mouse. So, for that kind of nonsense, I think the origin that hantavirus. That's, I think that more like one of those stories they frequently use, like from bats. Okay, bat virus. That's what the bat lady in the Wuhan library was very famous at that time. I think about 4 or 5 years ago. It's according to MySQL's intel, we can see very clearly, as Chris pointed out, MySQL said very clearly the hantavirus will be released. And then there's Dr. Zelenko talking about the antidotes. I mean, so that's even before it comes. So the antidotes was there mentioned very clearly. So, but I also hear today there's some news, some country want to lock down, okay, because they have signed the globalist country's quarantine emergency paper, which basically spelled out the I think the country's right in terms of how to the pandemic management. They were overriding the sovereignty of the country. Basically, the World Health Organization can tell you what you want to do. Okay, you got locked down, then you gotta tell your people to take the vaccines. And those vaccines, we know they're so lethal. And a couple of years ago, the CCP and the airlines actually patented the whole virus, and the vaccination just came out there, a month ago before it's by the CCP. They already produced the vaccination. So all that, it doesn't, it doesn't stand the check of common sense. If you have been experiencing what happened in the COVID-19 lockdown, like if you're in Australia, New Zealand, the United States, Canada, you would know what to expect. So we're going to say no to those nonsense. So I think I'm glad that COVID-19's accountability is going to be mentioned in the meeting between Xi Jinping and President Trump. I think in a few hours now. This is a great news. We want to see that happens. We want to see the CCP. They're just so bad. All the origins. As Moscow said, why CCP want to gear up with those guys? Those guys who want the globalist. They want to reduce the world population. But unfortunately, despite all the warnings, 75%, 80% of people have been fully vaccinated. Only 15, 20 unvaccinated. That's average across the families, whether you are vaccinated or not. If you are unvaccinated, you tell your family to go to get not vaccinated. It was so hard. I mean, indeed, all of our global fighters will probably notice the common pattern. What it is, 80% didn't listen to us. Now they feel the suffering. So I mean, you can't freely talk to them because they're probably very fragile, and they may get angry with you. But you already warned them. But just almost beg them not to get vaccinated, and they do. And I have plenty of examples. So what we need to do now is to provide the awareness, talk about it. Talk about the CCP intentionally release that stuff again with the globalist, and then I think once the people know about it, talk about it, we'll talk about maybe even the main media should talk about that as well. But I suppose they've been bought out by the CCP and the airlines. They may not talk about me. At least Fox News can talk about it. I think if you hear that. So that X, we can talk about it. Getter, we can talk about it every day. I think we've been doing that almost every day. But now he is the come. So I think it will be much better prepared, and listen to our program. Go back, ask. There's plenty of information in the X talking about the antidotes through the whistleblowers movements of the new Federal State of China. So, I mean, the last point is, it is a life and death game. So the CCP is the evil of all evils. We've got to take down CCP. I think I'm very hopeful that the Trump President team is going to be play a significant role. But however, we still have to fighting for our own freedom and for good health. Back to you, Zee. Thank you.
Thank you so much for both elaborating these things. I think we, if unfortunately someone around you already took the vaccine, you probably see his health conditions. There's already released a lot of possible side effects, and the damage, the mechanism is surely the mRNA. It's interfering with your own genetic system, trying to manipulate it and produce a lot of toxic COVID segments, parts in your body, and causing a lot of problems, allergic, all kinds of bad stuffs. And we're not gonna get too much details. And the good news, like Chris and also Mr. True already said, there's don't panic. It's planned, and we already know we have a cure. We can't handle the situation, but most importantly is that we have to kill the mechanism that's continuously producing more and more viruses and potential viruses, artificially made, genetically manipulated, and these are created by the CCP. So we have to find the source and terminate it immediately or as soon as possible. And that's the message we like to deliver to our audiences. And let's try to work together and push for the Senate to investigate the origin of the CCP virus and take them down. Okay, so we still got a few more minutes. Chris, do you have more to share?
Yeah, okay. So I think recently the President Trump's plan goes well. Like he took down Maduro and Iran, and also he changed the leader of the DOJ, and now they are moving to catch Fauci. And also now Mr. Trump is in China right now. Yeah, so I think everything goes pretty well. And after the midterms, things will get even better. So just relax, enjoy, like during these times. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, we see a lot of good news. Investigation of the Fauci continues, and but it doesn't mean we don't have to do anything. We just wait for the administration to do it. It's still up to every individual, I think, in the future to speak up, to speak freely about your thoughts, your concerns, and your findings. Don't let the dark forces intimidate everybody, so everybody is shut up. Okay, so now we go to Mr. Truth for the last comments for a few more minutes.
I think I like what Mr. Z just said. So everybody, don't just shut up. Your voice matters, okay? Your voice, okay? Our voice together, we can change the world. I think the world need definitely light, not dark, okay? We need the relaxation, happiness, not fear and control. And that's what, if we don't speak out, no one else will speak out for us. So let's take down the CCP. Thank you.
Absolutely. This is the ultimate solution. We know that if you go back to the timeline many years ago, the technology, actually, the Fauci, we all acknowledge that NIH started the program back in 70s or 80s for the bioweapon. The idea was to advance science or, to prevent any possible terrorist attack from using the bioweapon. But now the technology has leaked to these terrorist governments, especially the CCP, and the bioweapon technology is no longer under control. It could cause more and more problems. We already see the damage from COVID, right? The lockdowns, the panic, millions of people died because of the virus, and actually more and more people will die because of the vaccine. So if we don't stop this pattern, CCP going to release more virus, including with the dark forces, WHO and many other dark forces around the world, and exploiting the money and taking people's life. It's really sad for humanity. So fortunately, if you watch this video, and please stay alert and tell your friends, your audience, your families, and about the evil CCP. They're planning to overtake the world. So I think that's all I have to say, and now we can wrap up. All right, Chris and Mr. True.
Take down the CCP. I think it's
absolutely take down CCP.
Take down the CCP.
Okay, take down CCP. Thank you.
Its retreat becomes inevitable. This is not coincidence, not fortune, but direction itself, finally revealed. Justice never disappears. It moves forward step by step, gathering strength in silence, finding its footing in the final seconds before dawn. Today, what we welcome is not a miracle, but a morning that was always destined to arrive. In the new year, the dawn is already ahead of us.